Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Matthew Recor, and I'm an 8th year physics teacher here at Berlin High School. It is my purpose today to be the first to officially welcome all of you, including the NEAS&C Visiting Committee, to the opening presentation of the visit that teachers and administrators here at Berlin High School have been so devoted to over the course of the past 2 years. Teaching is my passion. It is an honor every day to stand in front of students and deliver the content in new and creative ways. In my teaching, I focus on hands-on and collaborative learning. I am proud of the work that I do. I am proud of the work that my colleagues do in this building. And I am profoundly proud of all of the work our students do here every day. Purpose, passion, and pride is a new initiative to the district. I show my purpose, passion, and pride at Berlin by utilizing technology in the classroom, focusing on hands-on learning experiences for my students, running the drama program and the improv team, participating on a variety of committees, including the newly formed Teacher Leadership Council, the NEAS&C rubric and assessment committees, as well as the Hospitality Committee, which was in charge of planning this panel presentation for you today. Please allow me to welcome all of you who are in the audience to our school, whether you are a student, fellow staff member, parent, alumnus, town official, administrator, Board of Ed member, or a visiting guest. We are very happy to have you all here today, and for many of you, the next few days. To the visiting committee, we hope to make you feel welcome and comfortable while you are here. If there is anything you need to make your difficult task at hand easier, please don't hesitate to ask anyone around the school. Now, as the Hospitality Committee planned this panel presentation, we ultimately decided that we'd much prefer for our students to be the highlight of introducing you all to our community. So, at this time, I'd like to take the opportunity to step away from the mic and introduce our Master of Ceremonies for this panel presentation, a distinguished student with whom I've worked for many years now, a senior here at Berlin High School, Mr. Aiden Rich.
Thank you, Mr. Recor. Good afternoon, students, staff, faculty, distinguished guests, and most importantly, the NEAS&C Visiting Committee. My name is Aiden Rich, and I am a senior at Berlin High School. I show my purpose, passion, and pride at BHS by my participation in the Upbeat Peer Leadership Program, the Redcoat Marching Band, the Jazz Band, the Magical Choir, the Fall Play, the Spring Musical, Chompin' at the Bit, or Berlin Improv Team. I'm also an Eagle Scout candidate and work for the Berlin Youth Services Outdoor Education Program. I've taken 2 AP courses while I've been here, AP Psychology and AP Music Theory. I will be serving as the MC for today's panel presentation, where we will be sharing some important information with you about various aspects of our school and our community. Before we go any further, I'd like to introduce my fellow classmate, Maya Patel, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good afternoon, and welcome to BHS. I am a senior at Berlin High, and I show my purpose, passion, and pride through my participation in the Upbeat program, Student Government, National Honor Society, and the School Musical and Fall Play, where I am a member of stage crew. I have also taken a total of 7 AP courses, including 3 this year: AP Physics, AP Calculus, and AP English Literature and Composition. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the National Anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please remain standing. I'd like to introduce the Berlin High School Magical Choir under the direction of vocal teacher Mr. Tyler Boyle to sing our national anthem. Thank you. You may be seated.
I'd like to take this time to acknowledge many of the distinguished guests who are here with us today. On stage with me are many of the speakers you will hear from today and or throughout the visiting team's time in our district. We have Principal of Berlin High School, Miss Eileen Eustace, Chairs of the NEAS&C Steering Committee, Science Teacher Adam Leonard, English Department Supervisor, Mrs. Lori Pasewicz, and School Counseling Department Supervisor, Mrs. Patricia Pyrus. We also have seniors Zoe Bassett, Maya Patel, and Zanae Lewis, junior Jake Holmes, sophomore Abby Furland, and freshman Michael Vignon. Also joining us in the audience are members of the Town Council and the Board of Education. Could we please have all of those who are part of the Board of Education please rise and be recognized? Thank you. We also have various administration from Berlin Public Schools Central Office, including our Superintendent, Mr. Brian Benigni, and our Assistant Superintendent for the Curriculum and Instruction, Dr. Aaron McGurk. Mr. Benigni and Dr. McGurk, could you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. We also welcome many of our faculty and staff members from the high school, and of course, our distinguished guests from all over New England who make up our NEAS&C Visiting Committee. We would ask that you please stand and be recognized at this time. You may be seated. Berlin is a unique place right in the heart of Connecticut. To deliver our school and community profile, I'd like to welcome my fellow classmate, Mr. Jake Holmes, to the podium.
Good afternoon. My name is Jake Holmes, and I am a junior here at Berlin High School. I show my purpose, passion, and pride at Berlin High School by playing basketball in the winter and football in the fall, where we are currently 7-0 and ranked 4th in the conference. I also participate in DECA, as well as the school newspaper, the Redcoat Review. I am also taking 2 AP courses this year, AP US History and AP Language and Composition. At 29 square miles in area, Berlin is the geographical center of Connecticut. It is located 11 miles south of Hartford, 26 miles north of New Haven, and a 2-hour drive from both Boston and New York. Berlin was incorporated as a town in 1785. It is divided into 3 hamlets: Berlin, which hosts Willard Elementary School, with 483 kindergarten through 5th grade students; Kensington, which hosts Griswold Elementary School, with 490 kindergarten through 5th grade students; and East Berlin, which hosts Hubbard Elementary School, with 213 kindergarten through 5th grade students. McGee Middle School, only 1 mile from Berlin High School, has 715 6th through 8th grade students. The newly renovated Berlin High has 899 students in grades 9 through 12. In Berlin, the funding for education comes mostly from the town at 85%, with the remaining 15% coming from state or federal funds. The 2017-18 year's budget was approximately $45 million, which equated to a per-pupil expenditure of around $16,500. This is below the state average of around $17,600 per student. At the high school, there are close to 100 certified faculty members, most of whom hold an advanced degree. The professional staff work 188 days each year, of which 183 days are in the presence of students. Staff daily attendance rate is 95%, while the students' attendance rate is a little higher at 95.5%. Students at BHS can and are encouraged to take a wide range of classes, including core courses, as well as a wide array of elective classes. This year, we are offering 15 AP-level courses and 8 courses through the University of Connecticut to offer early college enrollment credit. Many of these courses overlap. Around 13% of our students have accommodations, including 90 students who have IEPs and additional 55 students with 504 plans. 12 who are on alternate setting, and 7 who are out of place. After high school, 94% of our graduating seniors attend a 2 or 4 year college, with remaining 6% choosing to enter the workforce or the military. For extracurriculars, there are a wide array of sports and activities students can participate in. We offer 32 sports, 26 of them varsity, in the CCC South Division. On top of that, there are well over 40 extracurricular clubs or activities students may join, such as Upbeat, Jazz Band, Stage Crew or Cast, Interact Club, Student Government, Habitat for Humanity, Debate Team, and many others, which we are sure you will see or hear about during your visit to our school. Thank you.
In Berlin, we have worked hard to cultivate an environment rooted to our core values and beliefs about learning. Last year, many of our students, in collaboration with our faculty and staff, created a video to help demonstrate this. Please enjoy this 4-minute video.
All members
of the
Berlin
High School
community
will engage
collaboratively
To ensure
rigorous
and relevant
learning
to cultivate
transferable skills
toward
success,
in a global society.
explore
diverse
Perspectives
And evaluate.
sources,
to express
thoughtful,
judgments.
think flexibly,
take
responsible risks,
And listen.
with understanding,
and empathy.
seek
To solve problems
creatively,
by developing
solutions,
Findings.
prototypes.
performances, or media.
become
Self-directed.
Self-reflective.
independent,
learners,
Exhibit.
personal,
community,
And environmental.
Health. Model.
Kind.
and ethical.
Conduct.
contribute,
to a safe
And supportive.
society
That respects.
Our differences.
As part of the self-study, teachers and staff looked into and analyzed the school's core values and beliefs about learning and how they are used in the classroom. To outline what the staff found, I'd like to welcome Senior Zoe Bassett to discuss how she sees our core values and beliefs about learning in the classroom and beyond.
Hello, my name is Zoe Bassett, and I show my purpose, passion, and pride at BHS by being involved in the fall plays the past 3 years, including our upcoming production of Up the Down Staircase by Belle Kaufman, opening in less than 3 weeks. I've also participated in 2 of the past spring musicals. I am active in Upbeat, Youth in Government, Red Coat Marching Band, and Concert Band, and I'm currently taking 2 AP UConn ECE courses this year, Physics and Writing. And last year, I took 3 AP courses at the high school, AP Physics, AP Language Composition, and AP US History. I was asked to write a paragraph about how I see the core values and beliefs about learning used in my classes. And this is what I wrote. In every classroom in the building, a sign is proudly hung. Those words, even the very punctuation, were debated over in long, grueling meetings. Our core values and beliefs on learning are what Berlin High School likes to think of as its rules to life. Explore, think, seek, become, exhibit, model, contribute. Each of those words was chosen for a reason, each decided on after thinking and discussing for hours. I'm here to tell you all how they are applied in the real-life setting of Berlin High. Explore. Explore new worlds. Explore different topics, and seek out new passions. Classes offered to students like forensic science, marine biology, and theater all allow Berlin High students to discover possible paths for their future. Students also get to research a passion of theirs choosing through their capstone presentation during their senior year, allowing them the ability to further delve into and explore possible paths to their future. Think. Think outside the box. Think of our peers and be good people. Think of ourselves in a community and actively participate in the larger populace. Think that we aren't alone in this school. We have friends, classmates, and teachers who care for us and want us to succeed. Seek. Seek out opportunities, whether it be help or friendship, even opportunities in our community of Berlin. We are asked to look and seek more. We should be seeking more from our education, aiming higher. AP classes, honors classes, and advanced classes are all ways to push ourselves to higher standards of education and try to seek more opportunities for greatness. Become. Become the better version of yourself. Become the you wanted to be when you were 6 years old with the tools that you have at your disposal right now. Join the play or musical if you want to be an actor. Be in the band or chorus if you want to go into music. Take the classes you need to have the tools to conquer and achieve. Exhibit. Exhibit an interest and follow through. It is the nature of students to hide true interests in fear of mocking or taunting. But here, students are encouraged to express themselves vividly and exhibit interests in classes, topics, and fields that may be against the norm. It's welcomed and celebrated. Model. Model what you want. Model the school you want to learn in. Behave like the school is full of your clones and they treat you how you treat others. Model what you want out of Berlin High community, and you can expect the same in return. Contribute. Contribute to the community. Give your thoughts in class. Participate in theater or sports. Give your voice to the school, and someone will hear. Someone wants to hear and give you the outlet and opportunity to express yourself. Our school values these words, and our students follow them every day, whether they know it or not. These words build our school. These words create a warming, inviting environment for our students to coexist and thrive. These words are not just words. These words are Berlin High School. In addition to my views of the core values and beliefs of learning, the staff has outlined some of the key findings from the self-study. The core values were originally drafted in 2014 and have been modified a number of times since then. Each rendition of the core values and beliefs about learning has gone through a vetting process and approval process, including multiple stakeholders, such as, but not limited to, teachers, students, and parents. The core values and beliefs about learning have been actively introduced to the student body through a variety of means, including being posted in every classroom and throughout key locations in the school. But we've also been instructed on the core values and beliefs about learning, specifically in multiple advisory lessons, many of which have been coupled with the habits of mind. Furthermore, while the school has an analytic school-wide rubric for many years, during the self-study process, a new committee was formed to create a set of new school-wide rubrics which directly align with the core values and beliefs of learning. Ultimately, the rubric committee, which consisted of members from all academic departments and of teachers at all stages of their profession, created 5 new analytic school-wide rubrics which were agreed upon and have been implemented in a pedagogy of our teachers. In a PD session earlier this fall, and in multiple common planning times across departments, teachers have calibrated these rubrics. While more calibration is always helpful, teachers have actively begun incorporating the analytic school-wide rubrics into multiple assignments each quarter. Each department has identified one rubric to focus on at the early implication of school-wide rubrics, but many teachers are utilizing strands from multiple rubrics as necessary. Accordingly, the next steps have been identified and are currently being determined to follow for report cards to be able to accurately report on the progress of students based on the analytic school-wide rubrics. As a first step, teachers have begun tracking the students' progress on school-wide rubrics via our grading system, PowerSchool. But these reports are not yet being reported to students or families. This idea is identified as a future step and should be implemented in the upcoming year or years. Overall, the Berlin High School core values and beliefs about learning are becoming quickly rooted in the students and are aligned with the learning that takes place on a daily basis within these walls. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoe. Now to provide an overview of BHS's critical strengths and needs, I'd like to introduce one of the newest student members to the BHS community, freshman Mr. Michael Vignon.
Hello, my name is Michael Vignon, and I'm a freshman here at Berlin High School. I show my purpose, passion, and pride by participating in the Upbeat program, the Berlin High School marching and concert bands, and I have also taken the role of freshman class president this year. While I have not been at this school long, it is easy to see many of the wonderful things that take place. When I was asked to deliver this portion of the panel presentation, I was asked to write about some of the strengths that I have seen or heard about in a brief paragraph. This is what I wrote. In a constantly developing world, we seem to be presented with more and more options to choose from every day. At Berlin High School, we have so many more options than we've previously had before. These options can be as simple as what we can have for lunch from the school cafeteria to as potentially complicated as to what smartphone we buy next. This will be the first time when we get to choose our own classes. A huge benefit at BHS is that when choosing classes, students are given a large array to choose from to fit to the dreams of almost any type of student. With all of our classes covering a wide range of topics, any student, all students, no matter how smart, are going to have questions at some point. I've only been in the school for just around 2 months, but already I've realized that when the upperclassmen told us the teachers are there for you, they weren't kidding. Oftentimes, teachers are willing to take away their personal time to come in early or stay late after school just to make sure all of their students succeed. For many students at BHS, the 2:10 bell does not mean the end of the day for them. As already mentioned by my fellow classmates up on the stage with me, a huge majority of BHS students take advantage of the large assortment of after-school activities. Not only does BHS host many successful sports teams throughout the school year, but for those who are more fond of the arts, there is a club for every form, including theater as well as visual arts. Other clubs include Radio Club, where students get to use equipment and actually broadcast over the air in our new state-of-the-art radio station. We also have the bike club where students can get some physical exercise riding bikes through the streets of Berlin and nearby towns. To conclude, everyone loves having options in all aspects of their lives. Berlin High School is no different. The leaders of the school allow for students to follow their paths and not the paths of others by allowing options for individual growth. Thank you. And now, I would now like to welcome Abby Furland to talk about what teachers found in their self-study.
Good afternoon. My name is Abby Furland, and I am a sophomore here at BHS. I show my purpose, passion, and pride by participating in the Upbeat Peer Leadership Program, Interact, the school newspaper, the Future Teachers Club, the Berlin High School Madrigal Singers, the school musical, and also serving as the Class of 2021 Social Chair. During the self-study, teachers identified the following strengths about their school. The professional staff identified, among other things, that a critical strength was the many opportunities for students to get to know and interact with the adults in the building, whether it be through the frequent advisory blocks or the high number of clubs and extracurriculars. Students have a variety of opportunities to work very closely with their teachers. It was also identified that the many student services, such as the Library Media Center, the Guidance Suite, the Upbeat program, the partnership with Effective School Solutions, the staff psychologist and/or the school social worker, there is an abundance of opportunities for students to receive the support they need. It was also identified that due to our one-to-one Chromebook initiative, along with smartboards, projectors, and desktops in each classroom, on top of multiple computer labs, state-of-the-art radio and television studios, a student-staffed tech experts location, and a soon-to-open virtual reality studio, that the technological opportunities within the walls of BHS are vast and beneficial to our learning. Furthermore, in our classes, teachers allow us to work in groups on a variety of projects or assessments. While it varies from teacher to teacher, many allow us to choose our groups, but occasionally our groups are chosen for us. While, as a student, this can sometimes be disappointing, we also recognize the importance of it. Collaboration is a huge aspect of learning at BHS. For the past several years at Berlin High School, a focus for teachers has been to increase communication between parents and families. Teachers frequently communicate with our families in both positive and constructive ways. Teachers are instructed to reach out to families when students fall below a 70% in their classes, and additionally, this year, teachers are being asked to increase positive communications about progress in learning each quarter. Our school has many more strengths than what has been conveyed here, and I hope that through the visiting team's time, they are able to witness many more. Thank you. I'd now like to pass it over to Senior Zanae Lewis to outline some of the critical needs within the school.
Hello, my name is Zanae Lewis, and I'm a senior here at BHS. I show my purpose, passion, and pride at BHS by participating as the president of the Unity Club and member of the girls' basketball team. Along with being actively involved with the Urban League of Greater Hartford for the community outreach and being a lead for the Project Readiness Program, I am also a member of Congressman John Larson's Connecticut Youth Cabinet, the CYC. I am also taking AP Language and Composition. No school is perfect, and while I won't be speaking on my personal viewpoints of what could be improved, I will be speaking about what the staff outlined as some of the critical needs for the school in their self-study. While teachers and departments have been fortunate to have schedule, which allows for common planning time, oftentimes due to the variety of reasons, including not enough building subs available on a daily basis, common planning time is being taken away from teachers so that they can cover classes for their absent colleagues. This limits the ability of teachers to effectively communicate with others teaching the same content, to share ideas and collaboratively a plan including the creation and discussion of common assessments. Also, teachers reported that in the past few years, there seemed to be a misunderstanding of what the direction of the district was, as many initiatives have been introduced and subsequently deprioritized. As such, it is critical for the district to identify a clear plan for the future and continuously work toward it through focused professional development, along with the necessary time to implement and reflect these new changes. Teachers also identified that while there is a good opportunity to work closely with their department members in collaborative and creative ways, they would like to increase opportunities to work with, create, and implement cross-curricular opportunities for students learning that spans departments. Faculty also would like their voice to be able to be heard more readily, especially with the administration. In the past, it was reported that teachers had limited opportunities to discuss their plans and vision with the administration. This opportunity has seemed to increase with new administration at the high school. In the past, a vision committee had been formed which consisted of teachers and administrators. This committee was created to discuss problems and propose solutions. With the arrival of new principal Ms. Eileen Hustis, a faculty advisory council was created, which consists of one member for each department, which meets approximately once every 2 months. Additionally, the new principal, Ms. Eileen Hustis, has begun holding a principal's forum, which is essentially open office hours. These are planned to be held 5 times this year. With the development and implementation of the faculty council and with the principal's forum, it is the hopes of the teachers that their ideas will be more readily be heard and discussed as viable options coming from the valued stakeholders in the building. This idea includes, but is not limited to, continued revision and implementation of core values and beliefs about learning. On a personal note, it would be worth me noting that Ms. Eileen Hustis has been a great person, and I've been getting to know, and I can't wait to see the great things that she will be doing at BHS. Thank you. I'd like to introduce Ms. Eileen Hustis.
Thank you, Zanae. I'd now like to introduce the new principal, Mrs. Eileen Eustace, who began working here at BHS on July 1st of this past summer to outline the school's 2- and 5-year plan. As a student, I'd also like to add to Zanae's sentiment that Mrs. Eustace, since arriving here, has definitely increased the school's spirit within the student population. Please welcome Mrs. Eustace.
I was going to try to read without my glasses, but I figure I better not risk it. So thank you, Aiden. I am the proud principal of Berlin High School, and I would like to also introduce my administrative team. We have Mrs. Barbara Ventura and Mrs. Kelly Mayo, my 2 assistant principals, so please stand and be recognized. Certainly could not do this by myself. I show my purpose, passion, and pride by leading and collaborating with all members of the BHS community to provide an environment where all students are challenged and supported so they can grow academically and personally and enjoy the experience along the way. I couldn't have asked for a better place to land than Berlin High School on July 1 of this year. I have been warmly welcomed by a community that strongly values education, celebrates tradition, and cares deeply for its students. I am fortunate to join a school and district that takes great pride in their work as evidenced in their self-study and reflection. It is important for us to continue to build on our strengths, such as student connections with adults, programs that support social and emotional needs, innovative technology practices, and instructional practices to meet the individualized needs of our students. In response to our critical needs, we will focus on the following over the next few years. Within our 2-year plan, we will examine budgetary and personnel resources in an effort to prioritize common planning time to ensure teachers can meet on a regular basis and collaborate. Work with district leaders on the newly drafted Berlin Learner Outcomes and develop a building-level plan for professional learning opportunities centered around priorities including innovation, collaboration, and citizenship. Work with department leaders and teachers to collaborate on a building professional learning plan to meet content area needs, as well as develop opportunities for cross-curricular work that support the Berlin Learner Outcomes. Offer experiences that include peer observations, visits to other districts, virtual learning, out-of-district conferences, and speakers. Our professional learning should mirror the learning that we want for our students. Implement formal structures for faculty and students to provide input and feedback to building administrators, such as a faculty advisory committee, principal forums, student forums, safe school climate committee, and a safety and security committee that will meet on a regular basis. Prioritize visibility of building administrators throughout the building and at events as a way to interact more frequently with students, faculty, and staff, and informally receive feedback. Implement feedback opportunities for parents and community members through surveys, parent forums, advisory committees, and other volunteer opportunities. As part of our 5-year plan, we will monitor and evaluate feedback from all stakeholder groups and adjust practices as needed. Develop formal mechanisms or action plans to respond appropriately to feedback. Ensure that professional learning and other continuous improvement plans reflect stakeholder feedback and input. Continue to work with district and building leaders to implement a building level plan that aligns with district priorities, the Berlin learner outcomes with purpose, passion, and pride. Create a building leadership committee that includes a variety of stakeholders, administrators, faculty, students, parents, and community members to examine school programs and practices as they relate to our mission and core values and beliefs. I want to formally thank the members of the visiting committee for taking the time to work with our school. I think you will particularly enjoy meeting our amazing students. My best days are when I get to spend time with them in and out of the classroom. We look forward to your feedback. Thank you to all of our distinguished guests here today. Thank you to Mr. Recor for working with our students in preparing this presentation. I also want to recognize Alex in the back. Give a wave, Alex. He is one of our students here at Berlin High School, and he's actually running our sound and light board. On behalf of our administrative team, I want to thank our amazing faculty and staff for preparing for this visit. As a new principal coming in, I was not sure what to expect for the visit, and I quickly learned our school has been in good hands under the direction of our teacher leaders in preparing for this. This truly is their work, and I am proud to say that. Thank you all again, and now I will turn the presentation back over to Aiden.
The students and staff here at Berlin High School are very excited to have the NEAS&C Visiting Committee here over the course of the next 4 days, and we want to extend our deepest welcome and our sincerest thank you for all the work they are about to do. We as students look forward to speaking with them and seeing them in our classrooms. Please make BHS your home while you are here, and if you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. At this point, we'd like to open up the floor to a question and answer session to provide anyone an opportunity to gather more information while we are in the setting. Do we have any questions? Yes?
I was just wondering,
So Ms. Ventura has been here for 4 years, and Ms. Mayo also. Any other questions?
Choices, and what do you feel like in terms of when you look at the course schedule, possibilities of choices for courses? Are there electives there that you enjoy taking, or plenty of electives to pick from that fit into your schedule this semester?
I'll start, and I definitely think there's a lot of electives to choose from. Like personally, I personally have a very heavy schedule. It's focused on a lot of APs, and they have double labs, so that's kind of hard to fit in. And I was able to take forensic science, which is a class that I really wanted to take. So I'm very happy that even though I'm taking 3 APs, that I can be able to take a class that I'm interested in. So yeah, I think it's like the choice of electives is really nice, and I do think the guidance counselors work very hard to put it in the schedule.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to agree with Maya. There's a lot of different choices, not even just choices that I particularly am interested in. There's a bunch of different courses, like I'm taking forensic science as well. That's been a course I've been looking forward to since freshman year. But there's also horticulture, which is a half-year course that we have. We have a greenhouse, and all the students get to grow plants, and they get to learn about that kind of stuff. We have some really fun science half-year courses that we can take. And just there's a wide variety for every kind of student, where you might not necessarily be a very sciencey person. There's also different English electives that you can take, or you can take different types of gym extra classes that, like, they have personal wellness classes that you can take, and they're rather interesting. So, yeah.
I would also just like to add, it's not just good electives for seniors. Last year, I actually took both forensic science and horticulture, and they're really fun classes. Any other questions? Yes?
Seniors on panel, how prepared for your capstone project? And, what is that? And when do you do it? What is the presentation?
I'll start. So we have half of the senior class split into the first semester and the other half to the second semester. And the first half gets it done before, well, this year, before the winter break. And we meet roughly once a week, sometimes more, and we have deadlines for everything. And if we don't get a certain thing done by the deadline, then our teacher will hunt us down, and they will make sure we get it done. So if you don't complete your capstone, it doesn't happen very often.
Right, and to add on to what Aiden was saying, like, our teachers have worked with us, like, to figure out what are we, like, really interested in, and, you know, like, even future stuff, like, career stuff. So, like, for example, like, if you were interested in going into a field, like, you want to do your capstone on it, so you can, like, get a feel for the field and go. And Miss Mayette has taught me a lot. Just shout out to Miss Mayette. Giving, you know, looking for outside sources and mentors to, you know, help you with your capstone and help you with your presentation. So, like, with the color scheme and with your text and what, you know, information you want to put in your project.
For the seniors up there on the panel, congratulations. How has the curriculum at Berlin High School helped you in selecting your colleges, and are you prepared for the colleges that you have selected?
I'll go first. I definitely think the curriculum has helped me in a major way. I think if I hadn't taken the courses I have taken now, I wouldn't be choosing the major. I wouldn't be applying to the colleges I'm going to now. So I definitely think the curriculum has a huge impact on me and, you know, who I am now and what colleges I'm applying to and any of my future stuff.
Yeah, our curriculum has really, it's a very interesting setup, and it's really aided us in our selection process, where it allowed me to really focus on what my strengths and weaknesses are as a student and as a person, and really focused my spectrum for the future, where I've been allowed to take, like, forensic science and AP psychology, and I've really gotten into those genres of study, and it's really helped me narrow down where I want to go to college and what courses I want to take, what I want to major in, and the Berlin High community has really prepared me for my future, and I think that's probably something we can all agree on.
Yes?
I have not specifically had the time to look into those kind of things, and that's not really something I have wanted to do yet, but there have definitely been opportunities to do so. Talking to our counselors, they always have something kind of in the mix where they're sending us a message on Schoology being like, hey, there's an opportunity if you guys want, come to the office and we can talk about it and we can get you signed up for that. But me in particular, I haven't gotten to have that experience yet, but I am hoping to in the very near future.
I will say there are a good number of students who have taken that opportunity, and they've gotten a lot of learning experience out of it.
Can I just point something out that I'm not sure how widespread? We actually are in the process of piloting an internship program right now, and the really cool thing about it, really the best thing about it, is that a student was really spearheading this project, and in conjunction with working with Mrs. Ventura as well as one of our school counselors, they reached out to business members, people in our community here, and we're trying to start a little small scale and then continue to expand, but we really just want to get a feel for how we can manage it. So I believe we have 3 students in the process right now, and then the goal is it changes over a few times during the year, and so the hope would be that we'll have at least 10 to 12 that are going through a little bit more of something that's a little bit more formalized, connected to an internship program, with the goal of expanding that in the future.
Typically, that class is actually really full. I had to do a lot of switching around to try and get a class that fit for me. Typically, I would say the class size is 20
I
to
would say
25
20, yeah.
kids. The classroom, generally, there's never an empty seat unless a kid is sick that day. And yeah, you get to really just get to know your classmates through that, and there's a lot of us. Yeah.
Around 40 to 80 people take it every year. Yes? For advisory, that's actually where we like to go in depth with our core values. We do have a lot of activities, presentations that take place. The beginning of the year for advisory is just to talk about mostly the do's and don'ts at the school. But further past that, we go into depth with the core values.
One example is, I know the last advisory class we had, we were watching TED Talks on certain topics about our core values and just giving them. So we would hear some people's examples of things that they went through to promote our core values. So that's one example.
So we've heard a fair amount about purpose, passion, and pride, and I'm wondering to what extent, first of all, is that relatively newer than, say, the document that had seek and think and explore, and to what extent does purpose, passion, and pride support the core values?
I'd say compared to the rest of the core values we have, purpose and passion and pride is our main foundation. So it's just a matter of, it is a little bit newer, but the purpose and passion and pride is definitely what is centered around.
It's actually very new, just to let you know. So it was really something that we were looking at from a district lens in terms of how can we ground ourselves. We at the high school have the advantage of going through a process such as this to develop our mission and our core values and beliefs. And so when our administrative team met over the summer, we were looking for something to really kind of help anchor all of us from a K-12 perspective. And we were working with purpose, passion, and pride. And it really is something that really resonated with everybody. And even when we were talking about it with our students and asking them to talk about their purpose, passion, and pride, I think it was just something that they were able to connect with. So it is something that's very new, and we're looking to kind of really work everything together.
So it's my understanding a lot of Chromebooks, right? So how did you learn how to use those Chromebooks? If you're having any issues, if you had IT support in the building?
Okay, so with the Chromebooks, through at least I think we were one of the first classes to get Chromebooks.
We were when we came in as freshmen,
yes,
we were the first.
Yes, and so how that worked, we came to school through our orientation, and they kind of had a PowerPoint presentation on how to work the Chromebooks, and it's a lot of trial and error, and just us being tech-savvy little children definitely helped. And if we do have any issues, we can go to our library center. We have our student staff of tech experts who can help relatively any issue. And we can also talk to the library staff. They have a little center in the corner of the library where they really focus on tech issues and Chromebook issues. So if your computer's not charging or if the screen is doing something funny, you can go talk to them and they'll most likely have a solution for any issue that you have.
Also, being a tech expert, it's like an independent research class, so you like gain a credit from it. So, you know, during your time, like if you have a study hall at all, you work behind the desk and you welcome people. You know, even staff comes up to me and, you know, asks us like, hey, what is a way to, you know, work this PowerPoint or work this Excel, and, you know, just teaching people how to be more tech savvy when they're doing a presentation. Or and they also teach you, Ms. Neuro teaches you like, you know, homework and projects to, you know, help you to advance your tech practices.
Me personally, I'm very interested in marketing, and we have a really great business program here. A lot of Mrs. Wisher, she's not here right now, but she's one of the teachers. She's taught me in the past 2 years for marketing. I took marketing 1 my sophomore year and marketing 2 my junior year right now. And they just do a great job of incorporating real life examples and projects and presentations that just really go into like how the real world works. And it's great to get that knowledge as a sophomore and junior, because I know now that when I go into college in 2 years that I'm very prepared for any marketing class or business class that comes my way.
Well, it's more of a experience we're going to take for freshmen at least, I think, Ms. Pyrus, at the end of the school year, going into sophomore year, so I can't really, I'm sorry, I can't speak about it yet.
It's an opportunity. Like, you know, you can pick, you know, marketing, business classes, personal finance, right? Personal finance. So it's an open opportunity for all students.
Yeah, also, like, I just want to go into education, and we have a future teachers club that started this year, so that's really helping us. And we have like a child development class, which I haven't taken yet, but I'm hoping to take next year, and so you get like the real life experience to see if that's actually what you want to do with your life.
I guess I'll start. So I feel that the teachers, they've done a very good job. I know in English and science that we are like simultaneously using the analyses or writing analyses for different things, so that analysis rubric comes up a lot. The teachers go in depth with like picking out a certain section for students to focus on, so that they can like hone their paper or their lab report to get the good grade on it, really.
I'm just going to add to that point real quick. Every class or every teacher definitely takes that and maybe tweaks it a little bit so it more applies to the class. Like for an English class, you're writing an essay. It'll probably stay more towards that format that's given. But for a class maybe like speech, which I'm taking this year, I'm Samantha. She makes it more so it's about the talking, the posture, the projection, all that.
Now the Chromebooks are one student per Chromebook. Can you give an example of your analogy, let's say, in terms of science or a science course or a course in general, where that teacher is utilizing that technology and differentiate?
Definitely every single teacher uses the Chromebooks.
And Mr. Recor, our physics teacher, uses Chromebooks to, do graphs like velocity time graphs and position time graphs. So we use equipment with that with our Chromebook to take how far, acceleration and balls and all other stuff. Well, as in toy cars, and we do multiple things in labs with our Chromebook. So yes.
Any of the students give me an example of a classroom experience where there may have been multiple activities and you might be doing something different than somebody else in the classroom, but yet you're all kind of doing the same thing?
I think I can. Okay, so I'm currently in the AP UConn ECE writing course with Miss Amenta, and right now we're actually working on an essay, and we are peer conferencing while also editing our own essays, and she is currently conferencing with us one-on-one for a couple minutes, and so everyone's kind of in a different stage of the writing process or working slightly on something different, but we're all kind of coming together as a class to focus on this one essay, just in different ways. Okay, so if we do need to talk to our guidance counselor rather abruptly, we can email them, and that's always an option. Or if it's something very serious comes up, you can go straight down to the office and see if they are available. We sign in, we have a little Chromebook station that just asks you for your name, what period it is, if you're leaving a class, what time you're coming in, and for what reason. And if they're available, they will see you immediately. And generally we see them once or twice a year to talk either about colleges, and at the end of the year, usually they talk to us about creating our class schedule for the next year and just figuring all of that stuff out. And for seniors, we see them relatively frequently, more frequently than all the other grades, because we are working on the college essays and we're working on applications and getting accepted to different colleges. So as the years progress, you see your counselor more frequently.
Take 2 more questions.
You obviously have a fairly new, beautiful building, but I'm wondering what students feel anybody that would like to speak are highlights of the building. What are your favorite places in the classroom, or even physical education related areas, and what are your highlights?
The upbeat room.
Sorry, Aiden. So mine would, okay, I have 2. So the first one is the library center, because it's just so homey and everyone is so nice there, and you could just sit, and we have couches, there's chairs, and you could get your work done still, and there's these new bikes that we got if you want to do your homework while riding bikes, which I think is cool. And then also the guidance suite, because obviously the guidance counselors are so helpful there and they're so nice, but also there's chairs and tables where you could get your work done, and it's just a really homey space. Okay, 2 as well. One of which is our radio lab downstairs. I haven't personally gotten to work in there all that much, but I have friends who do, and I popped in once or twice, and it's just an incredible setup. They have mics and they have the computer setups, and they broadcast live, which is kind of crazy. And then I would say this auditorium definitely is one of my favorite things. I was here when they completed it 2 years ago, and I've been in multiple productions on this stage and one coming up. Yeah, and just the rigging and the catwalks and the lighting systems, just everything about this stage is just so mind-blowing to me. And coming from the middle school where we have a very basic setup, coming here it feels really adult and grown up and professional, and it makes me just really excited to be on this stage or to just work on something that's in here. Yeah.
I think a student favorite is the upbeat room. That's actually just across the hall over there.
Yeah.
They know.
So previously mentioned upbeat. It's a peer leadership program. Roughly 300 students partake in this club, and it's very helpful within the community, as in doing service, we have all these projects that happen all the time. And it's just a nice room, has tables, chairs, a room with couches, and it's just a nice place to go for a study hall or lunch.
I just remembered, we have 2 courtyards that we really like utilizing. One of them is our senior court, which is a senior privilege. We get to either, if it's nice outside, you can go sit and eat lunch out there, or you can take your study hall and you can go study and work out there. And it's really nice. It's a very big community area for all the seniors where we can kind of talk and really work. And our second one is in the science wing, and we have the greenhouse in there. And science classes, sometimes we go outside and we can go look at the greenhouse. And the greenhouse is just such a nice addition to our school where we can grow plants, we can have really nice focused education in there. And I think it's a big perk to our school. Yeah.
Yep, one more question.
How do you describe that student-teacher relationship?
Being new to the school as a freshman, it's obviously overwhelming for anyone, and I've felt at least that the teachers, they very much care about each of their individual students and their students as a whole. So they always work to have talked, I think someone mentioned it, they have to reach out to parents to just engage with the students and their families to create a relationship that can be if something were to happen, there's always an open line rather than you're not scared to go talk to a teacher. So yeah, it's very good.
I'm just going to add, just because I love this topic, amazing. The teachers, you could go to them for any help you need, just if it's to talk or if you actually have a problem. They're here. Some of them are here at 6:45 and they're willing to help you before school. Some of them are willing to help you after school. Some of them stay till 3, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I've even reached out to a teacher I had last year for, I had a financial aid essay I needed to write, and I reached out to her, and I was like, hey, I have this, it's due tomorrow, can you read this over really quickly for me? I don't know if it sounds really good, and she got to me, she was like, yeah, no problem, she edited it really quick, and then she had me tweak a couple things, and I was good. I'm very thankful for those kind of connections where it's you might not have them this year, but you've built such a bond with them through having them for a year, half a year, or just knowing them because they're a club advisor. Like Mr. Recor, I've gotten to know him the past couple of years from having him for our drama productions and now having him for AP Physics. Getting to know and bond with them, it makes the high school experience a lot easier. If you have questions, you can go ask them, even if it's not their class or their subject, you can go talk to them and see if they can help you in any way. And it's a very comfortable situation where it's not forced and it's very easy to talk to them, which I think a lot of high schoolers need, where they might not feel comfortable asking a counselor or asking their parents. So they have some adult figure that they feel comfortable asking for help, which is...
I just want to add that when I came this summer, one of the things I did was I invited a group of students in just before the school year started. There were actually about 22 students that came in on a nice summer morning. And when I asked them, what do you love about the school, their immediate first response was the fact that they loved their teachers and they felt like they had a great connection with their teachers. It was overwhelming. And it was widespread, clearly in the group. So it was just a really neat thing to hear without any sort of prompting whatsoever.
Okay. At this point, the panel presentation has concluded. We want to once again thank and welcome the visiting team to Berlin High School. The visiting team will now be proceeding to the following locations for meetings with the school board and or parents. Both classrooms can be found by exiting the auditorium and taking a right. They can be found by they will both be on the right side of the hallway. The parents will be meeting with part of the visiting team in room 2303, and the Board of Ed will be meeting with the other part of the visiting team in 2305. There are students at the exit of the auditorium who will escort you to these locations. It has been my pleasure to be your MC today, and I look forward to seeing you all again. Thank you and have a great day and a great visit to our home.